Welcome to What I Drew This Month, February. This is a monthly series to show what I drew this month, what I did well, and what I can improve on. Now, without further ado, we can start. I used an image from Pinterest to figure out the basic arm anatomy. I copied the image to the left and redrew it to the best of my ability on the right. I think it looks alright. There are some places that I just couldn't get the same for some reason, like the elbow. The bottom of the arm where the hand would start also doesn't look quite right. Other than that, I'm actually really happy with this progress, considering this is how I used to draw the arms before the practice. I was focused on the arm, and I think that I actually did pretty good for this. The shirt completely covers it up, but oh well. What matters this month is the anatomy, so we'll ignore whatever that is. In case it wasn't obvious, I had no idea what to do with the legs though. I got advice saying that the original hips weren't wide enough, so I fixed them, but now they just look weird. I don't know what to do with them. I do think that the actual legs are too thin and way too far apart. Again, there was absolutely no way I was going to draw hands. No, just no. You can keep that demon elsewhere. I refuse to even think about it. The hands can stay somewhere in the depths of hell. Overall, considering I started this piece to figure out arms, I think it's a good start. The legs definitely need work, but we can focus on that later. This is an arms piece, not a legs piece. Moving into week 2, and I continued my drawing from week 1. I changed the colour of the shirt and I drew a skirt like I would usually do. One thing I really like is the skirt. Normally I would draw a symmetrical skirt, but for this drawing I decided to draw an asymmetrical one. However, the purple fabric just doesn't look right, because the lines, they just don't correlate with the shape of the skirt, if that makes sense. I chose not to draw hands obviously, or the eyes, because I couldn't be bothered with that, no. Overall, I really like this drawing. I stuck with my comfort zone with the shading and the colours, but I focused on trying to do the anatomy well. Hopefully that's reflected in the final piece. The next drawing I did was this girl. Immediately, the head is just wrong. No, it's not right. Again, the curse, you're not using a reference. When will I learn? The eyes are also too small, with the gap between the two eyes being far too large. The left arm also looks wrong. I think it could be related to how the upper arm is too straight. In the original sketch, it should have been more rotated slightly to be a bit more fluid, but I drew the shirt first in a way that would make the rotation look strange. Despite my better judgment, I chose not to change it, causing whatever this is. One thing I do think I improved on from January, however, is the creases. I also really like the jeans. Normally I draw skirts, but because I tried to use more correct anatomy with wider hips, I wasn't confident with how the skirt would look. In this drawing, I really tried to focus on anatomy, especially the leg anatomy. However, like usual, there was absolutely no way I was going to draw hands. You cannot pay me to draw hands. No, just no. Overall, I like the jeans and the textures, but I think that the head is quite off-putting. The main issue, however, is that she's built like a rugby player, which isn't what I was going for. Other than that, I think she looks nice. This was my only drawing. Can I even call it that? This was an anatomy study, focusing again on the legs. The arm is pretty decent, but the start of the forearm looks quite off. I think that it sticks out way too much. Now, I've got to admit, I traced the legs. I know, not a good decision, I know, but I think that tracing them would have been more productive than trying to draw them from using a tutorial reference. I was really struggling to figure out the curves of the leg. I don't think I traced it right, however, as you can see in the image. The knees should be a bit more curved. However, I'm not so sure because the knees in the reference image are turned inwards, which isn't really what I want. I know that I'll need to draw them properly soon, but for now, this is fine. I think that the head size is much better, but obviously I can't comment on the face since I didn't draw it. I used a reference for the neck, so I think that it looks better than usual. I struggled a lot with the torso size, but I think that I kind of figured it out. Overall, I really like this one. The head size is just right, and I'm starting to get quite the hang of drawing the torso, which I previously really struggled with. To keep improving, I need to learn how to draw the legs from memory, and the arms, especially the forearm placement, needs a lot of work. So, on to week 4. What did I draw this week, you may be wondering? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm kidding, kind of. So this week I tried to redraw this drawing from week 3. I focused on the legs again, but I keep on struggling with it. I'm not sure why, but I find that the arm is so much easier to learn how to draw somewhat correctly than the legs. My process for learning the leg is to use my somewhat correct week 3 drawing to redraw it, and then go over the drawing with the liquify tool to correct it. Finally, I redraw it and just repeat the process. I still haven't finished the study, but I do think that my anatomy is showing gradual improvement, especially with the arms and torso. The last thing I did was start this main drawing. I'm trying to do a weird 3/4 perspective back view thing. This drawing is both to practice anatomy and hair. I noticed that I really struggle with drawing the ends of the hair since I mainly draw the front facing head. It's obviously not finished, so I don't really have anything else to say about this thing. Comparing my work from January and February, there is an obvious improvement in the anatomy. There is a lot more shape definition where the muscles should be in the legs and the arms in my first drawing in February versus my first drawing in January. I didn't do any landscape pieces however, so I just can't compare them. Okay, so that was everything that I've drawn this month. I didn't do any full pieces, just studies, so I don't actually have a favourite drawing for this month like I did last month. Last month's drawing video is linked in the description if you want to see how far I've really progressed since last month. I think that I've made progress towards my goal of improving my anatomy. I didn't do any work on poses however, so that's definitely something I'll need to practice in the future. Overall, I think that my goal for next month is going to be continuing to improve the leg anatomy in particular, and maybe get a full drawing finished. However, if you did enjoy it, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to support my channel. I'm off to draw. This is what I drew this month February. Bye guys! Bye bye!